live stream, the 100 live stream virtual challenge, the Harry the Big Dog live stream challenge. Okay, so I always get that name kind of, So this is just in case people are hearing it from all different angles. You now can find one of the ones. I should probably do like a mashup video where it's like all of these different ways that I've said this video. I'm 61 in. I should have it down by now. So today we're going over creating a product out of thin air. I'm kind of excited about this. This is going to be one of the first times that I'm using this platform to present like a slide deck. And so I'm going to start fleshing this process out, and let's have some fun. All right, so let me jump on over here. I got to move some screens, so just kind of bear with me as I move in there. Okay, this is the E.G.O Mastery, create a product out of thin air live stream. Here we go. Oh, by the way, you know what? Before we go there, I got to make sure that I have shared this out sufficiently. Let me make sure. Let me make sure, folks. Okay, so now one of the challenges that I have seen folks run into is when it comes to creating product, they will either A, create a product out of a vacuum, and they don't really know what it is that they're doing and why they're doing it. And granted, and let me qualify that statement. They think that they have a great idea. They go ahead and they create a product around it, and then that product that they create, it doesn't sell. So now they're trying to figure out what happened. Lucy, what happened? Well, there are some steps that you need to take when it comes to creating your product. And so we're going to cover that. And these are 4 simple areas that you need to consider, 4 simple steps. And in the simplicity of the steps, you got to do some work. Okay, so that's part of the kick in the head, is you actually do have to do some work. So this is the E.G.O Mastery. Now, for those of you who were on the broadcast yesterday, you know what E.G.O stands for. It's end goal objective. So you're actually mastering your end goal objective, and that is, what is it that you ultimately want to achieve? And then what do you need to do in order to get there? So let's start out. Okay, create a product out of thin air that sells. Okay, that's the key phrase there, that sells. There are 4 main things that you got to do in order for that to actually come to fruition, to actually sell your product. The first thing you've got to do is probe. And they're all P words. I like working with letters like that. So the 4 P's to doing this. So probe. So what does probe mean? Probe is where you go through and you look at your marketplace. You kind of look at things from this perspective. Matter of fact, let me get myself on camera here so you guys can see my face, so you don't feel like I've just left the building. Let me see if I can do this right. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so the first thing is that you got to probe, and probe entails research. Research, you're looking at, is what it is that I have to offer something that is saleable, something that can add value to a given marketplace? And if so, what exactly do I need to do? How is the marketplace talking about it? What problems are they saying that they're facing that I happen to have a solution for? So when you probe, you're looking at what they're saying. So that's languaging. Where they're saying it, that's proximity. That's like cytographs. What websites do they go to? What places do they show up at? Is it physical places? Is it digital places? And when they're there, how interested are they in it? What key phraseology do they use that alerts you that they're either in the search for or ready to buy? Okay. Ready to buy are like keywords like, where can I buy this? How much does this cost? Does anyone know where you can find this? Okay. When they are just kind of searching for more information, and they may not be ready to buy yet, but they're searching for information. They may be searching for somebody else. They could say things like, where can I find this? Not like, can I find this to buy, but where can I find more information on this? Where do I learn about this? What websites give me a breakdown or the history of this? So they're asking more informative questions because they're data mining, trying to make an educated decision or choice on a given product in a specific industry. So you've got to look at, what hubs are is that information located in? Are there any PDFs? Are there any white papers? Are there any communities? Are there any groups? Are there any posts or searches that folks make on a regular basis in relation to that topic? You gather all of that information in, and then the research really happens. First, you data mined, you found the key areas, pick about maybe 10, and then you break down what folks are saying in there. You create a database or a spreadsheet, and a database or spreadsheet. And then in that database or spreadsheet, what ends up happening is that you begin to flesh out what the common things that rise to the top are. If they make certain statements on a consistent basis, you need to have those statements in your repertoire, in your vocabulary. If you don't see statements that they make and yours are so far left of what they do, you've got to now see how can you bring your conversation to a conversation that is going to resonate with them, that is going to make them feel like you know what they're talking about, you understand them, you know who they are. Okay, so your research has to take that into consideration. I won't get deep into this, but I will just kind of give you an idea. You got to research. Okay, the next thing, position. What's that positioning look like? Well, positioning is, establishing your authority. You are maybe an expert or someone who can provide a solution. Well, if no one knows who you are, you don't have the consistency of messaging, your branding is not together, you're not showing up in your marketplace as a solution to their problems, you're not properly positioned. So you need to make sure that you establish positioning, and that could be done a number of different ways. Either A, you can produce content that speaks authoritatively about the topic, or you can align yourself with those who have already breached that or broken through and are known in that space. So by default, you borrow that authority and you position yourself as another expert in that space, a complementary expert in the space that you are breaking into. Okay, so there's ways to do that. The next thing is present. Now that you've got the information and then you've got the positioning, you've now got the audience's ear, because in that positioning, you create that authority and also that celebrity, if you will. Folks are now saying, okay, what do you have to say on this? I'm hearing the questions, I'm seeing the movements that you're making. I really like what I'm seeing. Now let me see, what do you have to present? So now you present your offer. And that presenting of the offer is like, hey, you know what? I've been seeing what you guys are talking about. That's a common thing in the space. And let me tell you how you need to look at the solution. And now here's the information on the solution. And if you're ready for that right now, I do have something for you. Just reach out to me, or you can visit me here. Check out my blog post here. Look at my video here. So now you've got this body of work that supports what it is that you've done, and you present that to your marketplace as a means to funnel them into your solution, which is your offer, your product, your value that you bring. Okay, and then lastly, once you have done that, you got to provide. What does that look like? What does provide mean? Well, that means that you nurture the process. There's probably not too much things that you can do that is going to establish that the person has made the right decision than your nurturing process. So you provide the nurturing. The nurturing could look like, now that you've gotten this, I'm going to now sandwich that with the information that you got before you made the purchase. And that gave you the value, the reason why you should make the purchase. Now that you've made the purchase, let me support that purchase by giving you the method in how to maximize the use of this purchase. Okay, you just bought a broom. Well, let me show you 10 other things that you can do with the broom that's more than just sweeping. You can use the broom in case you have back issues. You can use that broom as a scrub brush for showers and tubs and things like that. You can use that broom as a decorative piece. You can use that broom. I mean, so you start to tell them other ways that they can use their purchase. You bought some marinara sauce. Let me show you how you can use that marinara sauce to be a dressing, to be a stuffing, a soup, So you build that out and you give them 10 more things that they can do. So now they're seeing other ways that they can leverage or maximize what they have purchased from you. So by providing that nurturing, okay, you end up showing them that, look, not only did you buy this from me, but I'm showing you 10 other things that you can replace what you were doing other things with. So now I've actually saved you money on 9 other things because I've shown you how you can use this one thing you bought from me in 10 other ways. You see, so that now gives repeat sales because they're like, wow, you just made this really easy for me. This now, being that it can replaces all these other things, I'm now saving money by just going with this. If you see like the marinara sauce, if I show you how to now convert that into a really amazing curry paste or curry sauce to use in your lentils and your rices and your bakes and all of those things, now you're seeing all I need is the marinara and just a few other ingredients, and I've got like a whole new meal. You see? I've got this broom. Now I've got this thing, this decorative piece, this art form. I've got this, tub scrubber and this sweeper. Okay. So you're looking at ways to show them how they can now consume more of your product so it's a higher value to them. And your product may come at a higher price because it comes at better support. So it justifies a higher price point when you include not only the education, but the nurturing after the purchase, right? So once you do that, you're good to go. You have effectively mastered your ego, your end goal objection. I am the Jason Hodge. If you have any other questions, make sure that you reach out to me at jasonhodge.biz. And if you are not a part of this 100 video challenge, I encourage you, get involved. I will catch you later. It has been real. I am so grateful that you stopped by.